Welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Champions, brought to you by Mortgage Now. I'm Steve Strum. As always, with me over there is Marshaun Jackson. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
You know, it's doing great. You know, I'm still trying to get used to the fact that now you're over there and you used to be over here, but we got this guy over here. So I already know you.
Yes.
Who do we have today?
Yes, today we have Rick Oliver with Lpt Realty.
Yep.
I believe you said one of the fastest growing realties here.
Yeah, one of the fastest growing around. We reached 10,000 agents faster than any other brokerage, and we are, I believe, as we're sitting now, 23 countries worldwide. So yeah, doing amazing.
That's amazing. I can't wait till Mortgage Now gets in there.
Right.
23 countries. How about 23 cities?
I know, right?
You know, well, let's work on 23 cities. I think that'll cover most of Florida, and then we'll work on the 23 states.
There you go.
And then we'll go into 20. How do you have a real estate company that does 23 countries? Like, walk us through that. You gotta be busy, man.
Well, basically, you know, our founder, Robert Palmer, he's a genius with marketing. So it's just about stretching the company name out and everything. We're one of the few, I think we're one of 3 cloud-based companies. EXP is another one, where it's basically everything is just from your laptop at home. You don't necessarily have an office that you're going into or anything like that. You just work your business from the living room of your own house if you want.
Well, I have a question for both of you gentlemen.
Excellent.
So I have a real estate professional here, and I have a mortgage professional here.
Yes, sir.
So you guys work together. Obviously, if my wife and I are buying a house, unless I'm a professional, then student loan debt might be up there. Ha 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 ha. You know, I have a $150,000 piece of paper on my wall that says how smart I am.
Right.
But for most people, real estate is the number one largest transaction that they are going to get into in their lifetime, and they may only buy a couple.
Correct.
When somebody comes to you, both of you gents together, I want to buy a house. Walk us through, the audience today, like walk us through that process. Like, do I call you first? Do I call you first? Do I go on the internet? Like, what do? I want to buy a house, what happens?
So typically, the realtor comes first probably 99% of the time. And the realtor will say, you'll talk to them about what they're looking for. The very first thing that ever has to happen is they have to get qualified. So we will give them 2 or 3 names of people that we like to work with, but maybe they already have been referred from somebody else, which is fine. But we give them people that we like to work with because we know how each other works together. So in this case, let's say Marshaun and I have been working together for a few years. I'll give them my top 3 list, and I'll say, give them all a call, see how you rapport with them, see if it feels good, see if the gel's there. And if it is, I know how he works, he knows how I work. We're available on weekends, which a lot of lenders are not, and it's important because most real estate is done on the weekends.
Yes, sir.
So you need somebody that's going to answer that phone at 6 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. That's why we gel so well, because we know how we work together, and we make just such a good team that it makes the transaction much smoother.
And I know, so you have a team, it sounds like it, and I know a lot about your team because I've had the opportunity to spend time with you guys here at the studio on many different occasions. So when that call comes in, what do I need to expect? Like, I know I make money, theoretically. I know that I have a credit report. I don't know all the elements. What do I need to do for you so that you can give me the money that can then go buy the house from you?
Right.
Because that's how it works, right? I want to buy the house. I need the money, and you're going to give me the money,
Yes.
theoretically, hopefully,
Yes.
please, at a reasonably decent interest rate.
Yes.
And then I'm going to come back to you.
Yep.
Or I don't come back to you, or is it all done? Like, what happens for you when you get that call?
Great question. First of all, Marshaun doesn't actually provide you with money out of his pocket.
I need to talk to the producers. I saw this big bag of 20s. I thought it was,
But no, so that's a great question. So when you come to me, what you want to expect is just kind of getting into the nuts and bolts of your financial situation, your credit situation. And then what I do is I kind of plug it all in a database and say, hey, based on your income, your credit, assets, work history, you can probably afford a house in this range. Gives you an idea of what you can go out there and look for, allows Rick to say, okay, my client is qualified to purchase a $450,000 house. He has a starting point as well. So you go out, you go shopping. But mostly when it comes to me, it's income, assets, credit. Those are the big 3. And my job is to say, hey, based on all that information, I feel confident that you can afford a $450,000 house get with Rick. He'll find you the dream house that you're looking for.
So similar to like if I go to buy a car and I go to my local bank or credit union, they're going to give me a letter that says, hey, he's good for $25,000. I can then go shopping.
You can go shopping.
Now, obviously, the zeros are a little larger in this world.
A little bit.
But that's essentially, for people that are watching this, that are basically how that's happening.
Correct.
All right, so one of the things as we take it away, we'll all feel a little older today after I say this, but we remember 2008.
Yeah.
We also remember 2020, which happens to be 5 years ago somehow, a half a decade out from COVID. Figure that one out. But the folks that are your buying population that are in their 20s and 30s now were 11 in 08. One of my, outside of this, I'm in the financial world. One of my junior advisors that I'm mentoring, who's 30, was like 11 in the financial crisis, and which totally messes with my understanding of reality. How has this world changed coming out of 08 and then going into 2020, 2022, again changing? What have you guys seen as the major shifts and changes, both in the buying and the lending, coming out of those two crises that we've experienced professionally?
For me, on the buying end of it, working in the real estate part of it, actually the average age right now is 38 years old to buy their first home, which is mind-blowing to me. I thought it would be closer in the 30s, mid-30s.
Sure.
It's 38 years old is your average person buying their very first home. To me, that's a little bit high, but I think right now it's just because prices are so high, on top of mortgage rates being floating around 6.8, 6.9, 6.7 in that range right now, and people are waiting like, hey, well, we're going to wait it out a year and we'll just let the rates drop. Well, they said that 2 years ago when it was 5.5. Now it's 7. So what are you waiting for? Marry the house, date the rate.
Now let's take that rate question to you as a kind of follow-up as we kind of wrap up this segment. So walk us through that interest rate mortgage thing. Is 2.5% mortgage normal, or is it 5 or 6 normal? Because the people watching this, they're like, "Oh, 5 or 6 is terrible."
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
18 back in the 80s, right?
Right. Perception, perspective is everything. That is probably the biggest challenge. Is the COVID, while it was great if you took advantage of it with the 2s and the 3s, that was more of an outlier. That is not the norm. That is not how mortgage rates operate. If you had the opportunity to take advantage of it, great. In reality, 5 to 6% is actually phenomenal. When I first started 20 years, I was able to refi people from 8 to 6.5, and they were ecstatic. Now, I know that was 20 years ago, and we live in a Twitter age where we want everything now. But I would say, like he said, if you find your dream house, you can log in to your house today.
Yep.
If rates go up, you know that you got a better rate than what it was 12 months from now. If rates drop, you have the opportunity to refinance to a lower rate. However, what you cannot do is if you don't take advantage of it today, you wait 12 months, you can't go back in time and say, I want it where it was on March 5th of 2025. So you definitely date the rate, you marry the house, because you can always refinance down the road.
I think that there's so much to explore there. We'll probably have to have a second segment. Almost sounds like a game show. Marry the house and date the rate. Welcome back. So for this segment, what we'll do for yourself, sir, is we'll hang all of your links on our website, which is thedailynewsnetwork.com. And let's have a second segment where we talk to you as mortgage expert about said marrying the house and date the rate. Right, we could just parade everybody here, just like the game show, right? Yeah. So, but for the moment, what we're going to do is we're going to post your stuff on our website. And thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely.
Of course, Marshaun, man, a wealth of knowledge. Just having you on the set for people that are looking at the house, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to bring you guys on here and talk about things that are so important.
Yeah.
But you guys are great, but we can't do it without these guys, right? So guys, if you want to know more about mortgages, you want to know more about what the heck is buying the house and date the rate, we'll have another episode on that. But for the moment, if you like this episode, find it valuable, please share it, and remember to always live with gratitude.
It is a passionate mortgage brokerage that's local here in Jacksonville, Florida. We offer your traditional mortgages, purchase, refinance, debt consolidation, your conventional FHA, VA, government. I want them to feel like we care. like truly empathetic. We understand. I want them to understand we're knowledgeable. We're here for them. They are not just a number.